Chapter 22. The 700s room on the second floor, named for the Dewey Decimal designation for the arts, was crowded with library Olympians. Every team had raced up the steps hoping to be the first to grab the paper airplane book by Seymour Simon. Its call number was 745.592. Fortunately, the Lemoncello library had 8 copies of the book on its shelf. "You guys," whispered Miguel after the team had grabbed their copy of the book and huddled together under a Nerf basketball hoop in a secluded nook so they could talk without all the other teams overhearing what they were saying. "Everybody's reading the same book, because there are all sorts of neat paper airplane designs in here," said Sierra. "But if we follow one of these sketches, our plane will end up being just like everybody else's." "We need my dad," said Akimi. "Huh? Well, not my dad exactly, but someone with his architect/engineer brain." Miguel slapped his forehead with his palm. He had an idea. "Aerospace engineering," he whispered. 629.1, added Sierra. It was Akimi's turn to say, "Huh? Sorry, that's a Dewey Decimal number for aviation engineering." "Oh, right, I knew that." "It's next door," said Kyle, checking out the other teams, and all 7 of them had settled in at collaboration stations to pour through the paper airplane book. "Follow my lead, guys." He loudly closed their copy of the paper airplane book. "Okay, team, I think that'll work. Come on, let's go fold some paper and use our paper clip." "And the glue," said Akimi. "Don't forget, we have a whole dollop of glue." The 4 teammates sauntered out of the 700s room, and Miguel whistled casually, and Sierra hummed along. The other teams were too busy debating the design of their paper airplanes to pay them much attention. When Kyle, Akimi, Miguel, and Sierra slipped next door to the 600s room, the place was empty. Since the 600s were all about technology and applied sciences, the team passed several animated exhibits and dioramas depicting inventions, and one about industrial gases which used Mr. Lemoncello's patented smell-o-vision technology and reeked of rotten eggs. "Great," muttered Akimi. "We had to come in here on Sulphur Day." When they turned the corner at the end of a bookshelf labeled 629-632, they saw a holographic image of a bald man with a paintbrush mustache projected behind a desk. He wore a 3-piece wool suit and fiddled with a small rocket. "That looks like Robert Goddard," said Akimi. "My dad told me about him. Goddard invented the first liquid-fueled rocket." "He's also an old airmail stamp," said Miguel, and the others gave him quizzical looks. "Stamp collecting is a very interesting hobby." "Robert Goddard really was a rocket scientist," said Akimi. "Maybe he can help us design a better paper airplane." The teammates moved closer to the hologram's very real metal desk. "Hello," the hologram said. "My name is Robert. You even can call me Bob. I designed and built airplanes and spaceships. When I was your age, I was considered a nerd. And now I'm on an airmail stamp." "See," said Miguel. "Told ya." "Professor Goddard," said Akimi, "what's the best design for our paper airplane?" "That depends on your objective. Are you going for distance or aeronautical acrobats?" "Distance, sir. Whoever can keep their paper plane aloft the longest wins. Then you should be folding what we rocket scientists call a glider." "Because it glides?" "Precisely. I suggest going with a seagull. Remember to line up the wing flaps for good balance. Set the dihedral angle flat or slightly up, the vertical stabilizers to approximately 45 degrees to the plane of the wings." "The plane has a plane?" Kyle was totally lost. "Keep going," said Akimi, who apparently understood engineer mumbo-jumbo. "Do not use the elevators or your craft will stall." "No worry," said Miguel. "We always use the spiral staircase." Akimi and Goddard stared at him. "Never mind these guys," said Akimi. "I understand what you mean. My dad designed the library's front doors." "Incorporating the old bank vault's door?" "Yep." "I'm impressed. Will you be the one launching the craft?" "Yes," said Kyle, Miguel, and Sierra. "Excellent. Use a soft or medium throw by gripping the underside of the nose. This aircraft flies best when launched level or at a slight up angle from a high place. A detailed schematic with complete instructions is available in the top drawer of my desk. Good luck and happy paper folding." Robert Goddard vanished. Kyle pulled open the desk drawer, and there were 8 copies of the Seagull paper airplane design. "I guess there's one for every team," he said. "If they think to come in here," said Miguel. But none of them did. They were too busy back at their work tables down in the rotunda reading room, folding the paper airplanes they had chosen from that one book in the 700 room. At 1 p.m., the 8 teams brought their finished aircraft up to the 3rd floor. The 8 designated flyers stepped up to the balcony railing where they were joined by Dr. Zinchenko and the panel of holographic judges, Orville and Wilbur Wright, Amelia Earhart, Neil Armstrong, and Leonardo da Vinci. The spectators were ringed around the rotunda, eagerly anticipating the paper aircraft taking flight. Leonardo, ducked out in his flowing robes and floppy Renaissance cap, gave the pre-launch countdown. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, blast off! 8 paper airplanes took off, and the crowd cheered and rooting for their favorite flyers. "That's one small toss for a sheet of paper," said Neil Armstrong, "and one giant heave for paperkind." Most of the paper airplanes drifted in looping circles, spiraling down the 3 stories under the dome in 1 or 2 minutes. Akimi's carefully constructed Seagull, however, stayed aloft for 4 whole minutes. The audience gasped in astonishment as it glided along, scarcely losing altitude, and finally, after what seemed like forever, it gently drifted to the floor, where it made a soft landing. "Woohoo!" shouted Kyle. He looked down and saw Akimi's father in the audience on the first floor. Akimi's dad marched over to the winning glider, proudly plucked it off the floor, and gave his daughter a thumbs up. "Thanks, Dad!" Akimi shouted. Orville and Wilbur Wright announced that the hometown team's glider had just set a new hand-folded paper plane indoor flight time record. "And it didn't get lost," added Amelia Earhart. Akimi accepted the team's Top Gun medal from Dr. Zinchenko, and just like that, the hometown heroes were tied for first place.